I'm not going to clickbait you because I think everyone knows this, but not a lot of people are talking about it, and it's that social media is just amplifying nostalgia and these feelings of nostalgia, which aren't a bad thing for you necessarily, but if people get stuck too into it and get stuck in the past, it's just so sad for the future because they're just going to keep thinking and living in the past instead of living in the present and hoping that the future is going to be better. So today, that's just a little bit about what I'll talk about why the good old days are right now and why nobody thought in like the 80s or the 90s that, oh yeah, right now is the good old days. Nobody thought that. Nobody thinks that. The good old days are always right now in the moment, and you should train yourself, and I'll give you practical advice to be more present. Like I said before, I think a big reason why we romanticize the past is because of social media, but it's also because of the way we think about it and the way our brain just processes it. So just think about it for a minute. You romanticize the things in the past, but you only really remember the feeling of happiness rather than the feeling of worry you had at the time or the fear you had at the time, because the brain basically just filters that out. And you only really remember the good parts of it, which is fine, obviously, this is what your brain does. But when a lot of people get caught up in this like nostalgia trap, and social media just amplifies this to a whole nother level, because there's so much stuff online about this. But when you get caught up in this, you just think of these feelings of happiness, and then you get depressed about the present because the present just feels mundane, boring compared to what it was back then. But the reality is, whenever you look back on something and it's a happy moment, you're bound to just remember these happy memories rather than the fear, the worry there is in most moments anyway. So just remember that next time you reminisce about something in the past and you wish that, oh yeah, I wish I could go back and I wish right now it could be just like that. You probably don't. You probably don't wish that. You don't want that. It's not desirable. So just really think about this and write about it, like talk about someone. Like actually, I know in a lot of these self-improvement videos, a lot of people just say, think about this and think about this, but they don't actually do anything with it. Like, if you want to do something with this, write about it, talk about this with like your mate or something. Like, honestly, it will just make you realize this even more deeply. And how do you actually do this other than talking to people about it? I know this is going to sound really cliche and it's probably not the advice you want to hear in a video like this, but being present, recognizing every single moment, that's literally the underline, literally, like, if you remember anything from this video, just remember that is your goal: being more present, being more in the moment. So how do you do that? That's the real question. And it's just noticing these like little things in your life which you are grateful for and which are meaningful to you, which you don't think about before really. And the way you do this is, I think one of the biggest thing is journaling, especially gratitude journaling, which you probably would have heard about on self-improvement YouTube because it's all over the place. But I think the benefit of this is really, really like, if you're I like to think of like gratitude as a skill, and if you're really bad at it, which most people are, if they've never done it before, which is fine. But if you're really bad at it, then if you start doing it, the benefit it will bring to your life will be crazy. Like actually like life-changing, and it's so simple, but nobody does it. It's literally just, I prefer to write it down, but if you do it on your phone, I don't care. But literally just write down 3 things you're grateful for today. 3 things you're grateful for. It could be anything, could be as small as you want, could be as big as you want. Could be people you're grateful for, could be things that happen to you you're grateful for. Could be events in your life, whatever. It doesn't really matter. And the beauty of this is that as you start going and going, one day you won't have to do that, because you'll train your brain into just recognizing these moments there in the moment, recognizing these moments where you are grateful in the moment, rather than looking back and reflecting on it. And that is the main goal. And of course, it takes ages and ages. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect with this, but it's a skill you can train, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And the way you do this is journaling. And another really big one, which is really underrated, which no one talks about. So I read a book called Storyworthy, and there's a really big, I forgot who the book's by the way, but there's a really big big piece of advice he puts in there, which is a really big practice to do, is write down, like, open an Excel sheet or Google sheet, write down the dates literally on one side, then write down something that happened on that day. It's similar to gratitude journaling, but you don't have to be grateful for this. It's just something that happened that day, which is something eventful, something meaningful to you. And of course, it could be as little or small as you want. And the purpose of this is to, like, the book's about storytelling, and the purpose of this is to make you a better storyteller, because you can look back at that and then pick stuff from your life, and then you can tell stories about that to other people. But another really big benefit of this, which he talks about in the book, is about those moments, and every single day seems more meaningful to you, because you can look back on it and look back at the things you do every single day, and it does seem way more meaningful to you, and this only takes like 5 seconds. So I would say just literally start that and just see what happens, because it's such a big thing as well, so underrated, and makes everything seem more meaningful. So I would try that as well. So these two things, these two practices, and just reminding yourself, however you want to remind yourself. So remind you on your phone, or put something up on the wall or whatever, like reminding yourself to be more present and be more in the moment, and realize that there are no such thing as good old days, because it's happening right now. That kind of mindset it's just so beneficial to you. So yeah, remember these things, do these things, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. Subscribe more like this, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.